Do you remember when we were young? We'd talk and carry on. But now we are grown, no time to mourn, pondering what has gone wrong. It all began with a spark, humblest of dreams. And now we're here, and it's 25 more podcasts than you believe. Cause we're building a podcast 40-something white men, life flying by so fast. Cause we're building a podcast. What else are we supposed to do? We're already in a band.
And James.
And Dan. Featuring Stanley. Happy 25th podcast. We did it.
We did it.
We did it every week, but we did it for 20. We did 26 weeks, but we did 25 podcasts, 26 weeks.
Does that mean we're at a quarter of a century? Yeah.
For half a year. 26 weeks is half a year. We only do this for half a year.
Oh yeah, I was going with the whole century, 100, quarter, 25. Sorry.
It's fine. They're words and numbers too. I can't dispute that.
Quick maths!
Quick maths.
No.
Yeah, we did it. Let's achieve greatness. I don't know how that intro song come out. That was
Fucking marvellous. That's how it come out.
fucking marvellous. We went down a bit of a rabbit hole there. I had an idea, and James would not let me drop it. It's just like, nah, we could do something with this.
2 takes, job done.
Well, it's not quite true. Well, it was 2 complete attempts, not takes.
Yeah.
But you're being very generous, which he always is. But yeah, this week, first of all, James, how you been, mate? How you been?
Good. It's warm.
It's fucking hot. It's the hottest day of the year so far. My nipples are dripping. It's bloody warm, and we're in a hot room full of crap. My room is full of crap because it's where my wife stores all her craft things.
Never a dull moment when you look around though.
No, it's colourful. That's definitely not. You won't look around and go like, God, it's Spartan. You'll never have that problem in this room.
Never dull.
That was our cat keyboard, always on hand, just in case.
Yeah. Let's make more appearances.
But yeah, so we're in here, and it's full of that, and obviously the kids hanging here as well. It's just kind of a gaming room. Go on.
How rude of me. You asked how I was. How are you doing today, Dan? How have you been?
What, mate? I'm what?
Yeah.
I see what I did. This week I tried something I've not tried before. Right? So at the moment we're kind of working on a skeleton crew at work, so there's not many people there. So I'm there a lot on my Todd, and I'm like, well, you know what? I spend so much time doing admin and shit, which is just boring. But like, so this is interesting. I promise you. It might be. It is to me. Shut up. So anyway, I go in and I do my normal 9 to 5. I come home. I make dinner. Kids, all that. Good night. And we have band practice on Wednesday, as you know.
Mm.
So this Wednesday, I was like, I got home and I was still buzzing. I was still awake, and I was like, what I'm going to do, because I'm going to take the kids anywhere in the morning. I'm going straight into work in the morning. Who needs sleep? So I come home, I put the kids to bed, me and the missus watched a movie, and it was like after midnight at that point, and I was like, I'll have a coffee, I'm going to go to work. I just went to work. So I went to work I got in, I dropped parcels off on the way, I did a few other little errands on the way in, I had to pick up some things, drop off some things, and it was nearly 2 when I got in, and I just worked straight through. I worked through Thursday, from 2 in the morning straight through till 6, went home, and I was like, and I just didn't sleep. I was just sort of like, you know what, do you need to sleep? And I just thought I'd experiment just to see what I can get away with, physically. What can my body handle these days, right? I have done that before. When years ago we did like a 24-hour shift. We just went in, we just worked straight through. We stayed instead of going in early, we just literally go in normal time, but then stayed right through the night and straight to the following day, and went home the second day. That's what we did that time. So that was one way of doing it. Whereas this was like just coming home, doing the whole evening thing. Everyone goes to bed, and you just don't. And you're like, if I didn't need to sleep, I can go to work now. And I actually got loads of work done. Because normally I get so covered in admin, I don't get anything done. So, but turns out you do need to sleep. That was what I concluded. On Friday, I was like, I'd come home weirdly on the Thursday where I'd not slept. I was fine. I was actually buzzing, knocking back coffees, but I was actually in a really good state. I was like getting a lot done. I was really good. I was like, yeah, my body's just like, oh, he needs adrenaline. He's having a weird time. And then I went home on the Thursday night, and so I by the time I'd sat down, at like sort of 8, 9 o'clock, when I fed the kids, and we sat down, we watched some bullshit while I was eating dinner. I was like, oh no. Oh, I'm so... I was ruined. Couldn't move. And then the last few mornings as well, the girl's been waking me up at silly o'clock because she's got some... She's like, you know, like either she won't sleep or she's like got some bullshit to tell me or something. This morning she wanted me to build her a... I don't know, there's some thing she found in the room. She's like, let's build this, Daddy. And it's like... It's one of those things that you buy for kids that the kids can't do. The parents do for the kids. A little castle downstairs.
Oh, that little thing.
That was 6:45 this morning. Daddy, make this. And I'm like, I'm so fucking tired.
That looks piddly as shit. I would not be able to...
That nearly got screwed up and thrown across the room.
Yeah.
But I did do it, but it was on the brink. So she keeps doing that. So I've not really recovered properly, but I'm doing all right. So I might do it again. I got a lot of work done. So I'm like, you know what? It might be worth the time. I'm a bit sleepy, but that was my experiment. And turns out my old 41 going on 42-year-old body can still hack it.
Yeah.
Bitch
Yeah.
ass bitch. Just, you know, I can still, you know, stay up all night and make loads of work get done, and you know.
I can't. 100%. I can't. Fuck it.
I was a sleepy bear. Got through a lot of coffee.
Little sleepy bear.
I tell you what though, I got up and it was like sort of 6 o'clock and I'm like, I'm hungry. So I had some breakfast. And then like 9 o'clock I was like, it's breakfast time now. So I had breakfast again. So I had extra meals because I'd been awake, so I was like,
double breakfast.
My body, I was like, it's been many hours, let's have more food. And then I got to lunch and I'm like, so every 3 hours I'm eating, I'm like, this is not good. This is going to be bad. But, you know, we crunched on. The fan on my Mac is loud. I noticed it last week because it was pretty warm last week, but it will be warm today. So if there's a hiss, I apologise. I will try and EQ it out. I have already done some EQing. That's James being a snake.
That's not. This sounds.
Now, this week, we're getting a bit rappy, aren't we? We're getting a bit urban, aren't we?
Sup, bro?
Yeah. Now, obviously, you know me and James at Wall Street. We know all that shit, right?
Yeah.
But we're rock kids, right? We don't really dip our toe in too much of this shit. I'm not familiar with a lot of this stuff. So if you're down with us, you might be more kid than me.
I bought an Eminem once, an Eminem CD.
Eminem CD.
Yes, not even in iTunes. I bought a CD.
Oh wow, physical disc.
Physical disc.
Did you read his little booklet inside?
Nah, I looked at the picture. I put it in the car.
He's a very sweary man, isn't he?
He's got some bad language, that man.
Very naughty.
Mm.
It's good, Danny.
Yeah.
It's really. I listened to his last few albums. I'm like, because there's that one song where he's like some Guinness World Record for the most amount of words in a song.
Oh, I know the one that goes.
And I was like, I listened to it, and my first thought was bullshit. Yeah. So then what I did, I went on YouTube straight away, and I just saw it live. I'm like, oh no, motherfucker! All right, fair play.
Yeah.
That guy. I mean, like. He's such a bragger. He's such a loudmouth cunt. You think, oh no, he can't be all that. He can't be, and he just is.
Mm.
He's just legit. And you listen to his lyrics, and they're like, oh, he's really good as well. Like he's talking about stuff, and it's like this is actually. He's not just saying things fast, and he's not just making them rhyme. He's actually these are better lyrics than most. Like you could quarter the speed and get some like rock lyrics on it. Then nothing touches it. It's really good. So like Eminem is like legit good.
Oh, he thought about those words, didn't he? Oh, he did good.
Because I never really understood the in the rap or hip hop world. I don't really understand how some people get. There are some people you hear and you're like, oh no, fair enough, that guy's a fucking poet, right?
Mm.
There's like a lot of the way, like Tupac, right? Some of the stuff, because Kaz she's got well into like did Tupac back in the day, and she loved Tupac and all his side projects, Machiavelli and all that sort of stuff. So we were, you know, I'm a bit keyed up on him, and weirdly I got into him as an actor before I got him into as a musician, but like. I can see, oh, this guy is a legit musician, and then some stuff, like remember 50 Cent, Everybody in the Club, right?
Oh yeah.
I was just like, this is crap. Like, I wouldn't tell him, but I'm like, this is bad. Like these lyrics are bad, and there's some stuff I'm like, that doesn't really work. It's not effective as a, as a storyteller. Like there's some rappers and shit. I'm like, this is you have a brand. You've built this brand, but you're not good. And I feel like some people, and it's not necessarily relative to how famous they are, but that's just my opinion as a.
It's the repetitive lazy rap that does my head in, which is like when you touch on 50 Cent, like I'm going to rap about this. I'm going to do it. I'm going to say a little bit of verse, then go back. I'm going to say some words. And you just repeat the same things over and over again. You think it's like a catch, but it's not. It's not a catch. It's not the earworm. It's like lazy, fucking lazy. When you see other people
there's
who
some
do
stuff and you think this is dog shit. I don't really understand how. But then I know there's plenty of musicians I've listened to where people could listen to it and go like, the fuck is this, right? You know, I've got a Soulfly t-shirt. I can't really. Although even that musically is a little bit more interesting than like a lot of these loops. But again, I'm showing my you know, we are middle-aged white boys. We don't know.
I'm set in my ways, damn it.
I just don't understand music these days. These kiddies.
No.
Well, I don't know. I still listen. But anyway, I'm doing Snoop Dogg. What did you end up on?
Well, I went with Notorious B.I.G. featuring Two Back. Sorry, bleh.
Two Backs.
Two Backs, yeah.
Two Backs, yeah.
So
Famous rapper.
Notorious B.I.G. featuring Tupac and various artists.
Oh, so you went vague. You went kind of like broad.
I went for Notorious
Alright.
B.I.G. and then it touched on an interesting thing to do with Tupac, and then there's some other people got mentioned in it. So
Yeah.
it's all biggies.
Yeah.
But then it's got other bits on. Yeah.
That's cool, man.
But first of all, I'm going to sneak in a phrase at some point during this podcast.
Oh, go on.
And you'll have to try and point it out when you think you have noticed it. Are you ready to play?
Yeah, sure. What's
Yeah?
the phrase?
Well, you can't. I can't tell you. You got when I say it, you got to go. Oh, that's uncharacteristic, James. Why did you say that? Is that your secret phrase? Oh, yeah. I'll tell you if it is or not.
All right, legit. Are you gonna say the N word just to?
No. Oh God, no. Oh God, no. Honestly, I've heard a lot of that. I've been listening to music. Ooh, they
Oh
say.
dear, they are not. Well, I look. I'm gonna. This is rock paper scissors, is it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, you might win.
1, 2, Beth.
Yeah, go, mate. You won.
Yeah.
I let him win.
I made me win.
Well done, James.
That only took me a hot minute to win that, didn't it?
12 weeks.
12 weeks.
I think it was 12 weeks.
I think it might be more than that.
I was guessing 12. I think it might well be 12, but it's been a long time.
A long time could also mean a hot minute, you know? Yeah.
That's not the characteristic thing you would say.
Oh, you found out my secret ruse.
You said it seems suspiciously, but go on. What's a hot minute? What are you saying? Why am I calling it a hot minute?
No, I thought a hot minute. I don't know. It just popped up in a conversation I heard on like television. I thought that's a weird phrase.
Oh, you literally just thought, I'm going to say that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say it. It can mean a hot minute. It can mean really quickly or forever. It just means the opposite. So I could say, I'll get that in a hot minute for you. That could either mean in a second or next year. Fucking dickhead phrase. But I thought I'm gonna say it. There
Did
you
it
go.
mean? I thought I assumed a hot minute is like in a hot minute. I don't know what I thought that meant. I don't think I've given it any thought before.
See, education.
It sounds
You're
like
welcome.
sort of part of a sort of southern drawl, sort of like, well, I did that in a hot minute. You know, it's
Yeah.
like that sort of thing. It's like a colloquial Southern American sort of like patter. You know, just patois. Sorry.
It was. I heard it. The person was saying, "Oh, I've not seen him for a hot minute," as in like I used to go to school with him years ago, and then I've just seen him like years and years later. So then when I looked up the phrase, it says, "Oh, it can mean very quickly." It's like, "I'll do that in a hot minute." There you go, done. So it means completely opposite things. It's weird.
Did you know, right?
Oh, there you go. Yep.
Weird that you say this, right? Because we went down a sort of so we were listening to a bit of Wu-Tang Clan the other day, right?
Oh yes.
Because we've you know, we've got all that shit going on. So we had some Wu-Tang. Actually, it's a very nice groove. I like the I do like the vibe of Wu-Tang. I don't necessarily love all the songs, but it was like it's just the sort of is very no one else has the same. But so anyway, Gravel Pit, come on, you know that.
Yeah.
Check out my gravel pit. You know that one, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, what the fuck's a gravel pit? I assume that's something nasty. Okay.
It's got to be.
I assumed it was. I don't know why, but I assumed it was a butthole. I assumed it was a butt. Check out my ass. Check out my butt. Check out my. You know, like, and I assumed that was what they were.
Why not?
But so anyway, gravel pit can be a colloquial slang for home.
Oh.
Check out my house, right? But if you go to Urban Dictionary, It can take you down a little path. So yeah, so I'm just going to find that. So gravel pit is another name for a vagina. Example given. Melissa has a huge gravel pit. You could get lost in that thing. This is a gravel pit. This is another example. When you make your partner eat peanuts or other assorted nuts items for a whole week straight and then perform anal intercourse.
Dude, okay.
Example, I fed that bitch cashews for a week and then hit the gravel pit.
Fucking hell.
And then this is the third one, right? Again, Urban Dictionary, you can check it. Gravel pit, when you wrap your bare ass cheeks around some unfortunate soul's nose, preferably while they're sleeping, and let a fart rip. Example, I gave my girlfriend a gravel pit last night because the hoe blue-balled me.
Fuck.
Can you imagine? You try it on, because not tonight, darling, and then you woke her up with that.
Oh dear.
And then there's actually fourth one. Eating pop rocks out of someone's butthole.
No.
She's, dude, last night I was so drunk I gravel pitted Rhonda. So it just shows you how interesting, diverse and beautiful in some ways the English language can still be. So that, what Wu-Tang meant, I don't know. And the mystery continues, and I think that's wonderful in its way.
Why is it out of all I saw, I found the one about the pop rocks the worst?
Because that's probably the one you've done. I will ask your wife later.
Safe to say, none of that has happened. I've only just ever learnt of these now. But yeah, oh dear.
Yeah, I don't know. You're very red. I assume it's
warm.
Yeah,
That's what it is. Oh dear. Right. Well, because I've mentioned I'm going to be talking about the Notorious B.I.G. featuring Tupac and various rappers. But did you know my favourite rapper?
Yep.
Is the empty wrapper of a penguin bar because I've eaten the penguin.
Oh dear, you are wicked, aren't you? Wicked.
Oh dear. Sorry. So, Notorious B.I.G. That's the first and last time I'm going to be saying so this podcast. Right? We're done. We're done.
So.
Yeah, you can say it. I'm not.
All right.
Notorious B.I.G. weighing in at over 395 pounds, being 6 foot 1 inches. His net worth is $10 million. Please welcome the late and great Notorious B.I.G. Yeah, so from 21st of May he was born 72 till the 9th of March 97, when he sadly passed. But he had a lot of names, but with one that I heard a lot, which I never kind of got until I read through this, he's also known as Biggie Smalls. So Biggie Smalls was an American rapper.
Dude, don't say that name again.
No?
Say it 3 times, it comes.
It's like Candyman. Okay, I won't do it.
You said it twice, so just bear that in mind.
Okay, Biggie Smalls has got... Oh, shit.
Don't look behind you.
No, we're cool. There's a sombrero.
Oh, cool.
What if he appears with some...
Oh, no, motherfucker.
So he was an American rapper, rooted in East Coast hip-hop and particularly gangster rap. He was widely considered as one of the greatest rappers of all times. Wallace became known for his distinctive laid-back lyrical delivery, offsetting the lyrics, often grime content. His music was often semi-autobiographical, telling of the hardship and criminality, but also of the poetry and celebration. Yeah, so that's lots of facts about him as a person there.
I remember obviously him and the Tupac. I won't get into it, but like,
yeah,
I always remember like obviously they had the big rivalry and it was East Coast West Coast, all that crap, right? But I don't really know any songs that, like, I'm not familiar. Tupac, yeah, I know all that shit. I know loads of songs, but I just don't really get. I don't know. Like, I feel like in terms of history, just like in terms of success, that was pretty clear cut. But anyway, moving swiftly.
The song that I've heard, because I've listened to a couple of things from some rappers, because I know nothing of these. I know of them. I've heard samples and loops and stuff, but there was one of his first songs, which I'll talk about later, is Juicy. I've heard of that, and I'll go into some lyrics on that. But yeah, it's weird. I know of him. I can tell you that's Biggie Smalls. That's Notorious B.I.G. But I can't name anything apart from that one Juicy track. I don't even know what it sounds like until I listen to it today. But it's crazy. Such a notorious person.
I know that. Yeah. Well, speaking of juice, gin and juice. Rapper Snoop Dogg or Snoo. Rapper, actor, businessman, producer, screenwriter, entrepreneur, and icon Snoop Dogg has been a constant presence in the public eye for over 30 years. With an estimated net worth north of $160 million, he's a successful fucking man.
It's alright.
And he's younger than you'd think, actually. Born Calvin Cordozar Broadus Jr. in October 20th, 1971 in Long Beach, California, but it's Beverly Tate and Vernal Varnado, which is the best name I've ever heard.
I was going to say that's pretty damn cool.
Vernal Varnado. His father was a Vietnam War veteran, singer and mail carrier. He left the family only 3 months after Broadus' birth, and the baby was named after his stepfather, which was Calvin Cordozar Broadus Sr. So he was named for him. His biological father remained largely absent from his life. As a boy, his mother nicknamed him Snoopy due to his love and likeness to the cartoon character from Peanuts. That is where it came from. So he was the second of his mother's 3 sons. His mother and stepfather divorced in 1975. He was raised a Baptist, began singing and playing piano at the Golgotha Trinity Baptist Church when he was very young. His mother, a member of the church choir, was one of his prime musical influences growing up and introduced him to old school R&B music. So in his youth, he sold candy, delivered newspapers, bagged groceries. He was a hustler, man. He got shit done. That's one of the things you talk about him as a child. He was like doing 50 things all the time. But he also was doing some naughty shit. But he was also he was in the choir, he was doing all the church stuff. He was also selling stuff. He was doing lemonade stands. He was just like newspapers, the whole lot, just everything all the time. He was described as having a dedicated student and enthusiastic. Yeah, so he was described as a enthusiastic churchgoer, a dedicated student, active in the choir. He was in football, with a lot of other sports as well. He's a big sports guy. In 6th grade, he began rapping. He would frequently rap in school, as he recalled. When I rapped in the hallways at school, I would draw such a big crowd that the principal would think there was a fight going on. Made me begin to realise that I had a gift. I could tell my raps interested people, and it made me interested in myself. Now, that's how he started off, and you think, wow, he's got everything going for him. It's all going to go really well. But will it be that clear? Will it be that easy?
No.
Well, let's wait and see. Bring me a fact.
Before I effectuate over everyone's faces, my drink today, I've never had it before, and I really need to share it. Cinnamon Fireball Jack Daniels with apple juice.
Apple juice.
Is fucking lovely. It tastes like apple pie.
Apple pie.
There's like delicious now.
I need to fill up my drink.
What's been your choice?
I've got my sister got us some plum gin. I think it's plum. It's a very homemadey sort of plum gin from one of her
Plim.
It's Plim. Got some Plim, and I had that with some cheeky lemonade because I'm just a fruity bitch. It's hot, and I thought it'd be refreshing, and it was refreshing.
Yeah.
And from the feeling I've got in my head right now, I'm surprisingly alcoholic. So
Nice.
I'm gonna go and refill that. Quick pauses. Hopefully the fan will cool down while we go.
Pause.
There's a film. Sometime next year. Maybe.
Yeah.
Who stars in the film?
Films for John.
John, Samuel John. There's a lady at some point.
Oh, Margaret.
God damn it. They're coming.
Who?
Maybe aliens, maybe mole people.
Donkeys.
Donkeys. Floor donkeys.
Oh,
Ground
donkeys.
donkeys. Shit. They're coming. It's soon. Oh my lord, what's happening?
Oh.
It's too late. Round the corner. They're coming. Good God, no.
Who's
the
gonna
film.
direct it?
The film. Rated PG-13 maybe. Who knows?
Sometime.
Next year, maybe. Film. We're back in the motherfucking house with fresh beverages.
Yeah.
And you know, we got to. I did my thing.
So is it me?
You're back to more Biggie.
As B.I.G's popularity grew, he was threatened with legal action from the original 14-year-old Biggie Smalls. So he changed his name to Notorious B.I.G. before.
So he was called Biggie Smalls, and then
yeah,
he was getting sued by 14-year-old.
by a 14-year-old.
Was he a rapper too?
He was a rapper.
So Biggie Smalls is... Oh, okay.
This confused the crap out of me. But I think I've got my head around it now.
So he's Biggie Smalls. There's another Biggie Smalls who's younger, and then he was like, okay, I'll become the Notorious B.I.G.
Who was based off of Biggie Smalls, who was from a film from the 70s. So
Okay.
the Notorious B.I.G, also known as MCC West, Biggie Smalls, and Biggie, was one of the most influential rappers of the 1990s. Biggie Smalls was the name he took after a character in the 1975 film Let's Do It Again, where Biggie Smalls was played by actor Calvin Lockhart. However, in the early 1990s, a young rapper from the West Coast, West Side, named Tim Bigelow. Oh, this is a nice West Side sign from Dan, thank you. Where did I go to? So West Coast named Tim Bigelow was already performing under the name of Biggie Smalls. He started recording music at just 12 years old in 1991 and released 3 songs: Save Mr. Perkins, Cruisin', and Nobody Rides for Free. All 3 were released before B.I.G's breakout. As B.I.G's popularity grew, he was threatened with legal action from the original Biggie Smalls. So, he changed his name to Notorious B.I.G before releasing more music. Ba-da-ba. So, he wasn't always called. That's why there's Biggie Smalls and then Notorious B.I.G. And again, the original, which is from his early things, MCC West. But yeah, that's how he became Notorious.
Notorious. Interesting.
Interesting
if true.
And being sued by a 14-year-old who was 12 and he was called Biggie Smalls.
Well, yeah, it's not great. Not great at the start.
No.
Alright, I'll get back to the old snoo snoo.
Snoo snoo.
Snoo snoo.
Snoo 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 snoo.
Snoo. Shizzle in my pizzle. Oh yeah, so Broadus Jr. Broadus is a weird term. Anyway, in his teenage years, Broadus began engaging in unlawful activities and joining gangs. Despite his mother's preventative efforts, he was a member of the Rolling 20s Crips, which was a gang alongside the east side neighbourhood of Long Beach. In 1993, however, he denied the frequent police and media reports, saying he'd never joined a gang. He did. Shortly after graduating in 1989, just to get a context, when he got famous pretty quick. His first recording was 92. So, in 1989, he was arrested for possession of cocaine. And for the next 3 years, he was frequently incarcerated, including at Wayside Jail, with his 2 cousins, Nate Dogg, Little Half Dead, and friend Warren G. Yeah. He was friends and family with all the big rappers. It's crazy.
Wow, okay.
Man, I'm going to listen to Regulate by Warren G. I'll listen to that. It's a tune.
I see, that's out of those names, that's the name I remember.
You know Regulate.
Yeah.
I'll play that. He recorded homemade tapes. The 4 recorded their group 213 after the area code, because that's what you do, I guess, of the native Long Beach at that time. One of Snoop's, or Snoo Snoo's, early solo freestyles over Hold On by En Vogue was on a mixtape that fortuitously wound up with Dr. Dre, the very same.
Oh.
The influential producer was so impressed by the sample that he called Snoo Snoo to audition in 91 for his label Death Row Records, which was then known as Future Shock. Former NWA affiliate American rapper Tracy Lynn Curry, better known as the DOC, taught him to structure his lyrics and separate the themes into verses, hooks and choruses. So basically, he where he grew up, it's kind of crazy how successful everyone he grew up with was. You know, you think literally his class and his cousins, his just direct family are like they're all off their own back successful rappers in that area, and they all seem to sort of come up at the same time. And yeah, just through mixtapes and stuff, he got into Dr. Dre. And then from then he got his first album, 92, 93, I think, come out, was Doggy Style.
Yeah.
And that just shot him up. Gina Juice on that, and that was one of the big songs. It was just like he was just away. So it all looked great. It looked like he'd come up, went through the church, obviously did a few little naughties, bit of cocaine. You shouldn't do the cocaine. Cocaine. But you know, he was having a lovely time. All was well in the world. Or was it? We'll find out in the next fact.
Da, da, da. Cool. This one is a bit of a long one, but we'll go with it.
Mm-hmm.
So, Biggie and Tupac. Yeah. started their careers as friends and collaborators. The two first crossed paths in the early 90s, bonding over their love of music and shared experiences growing up in the tough neighborhoods of New York and Los Angeles. However, as their careers progressed, tensions began to mount. Tupac and Biggie's beef can be traced back to the infamous incident in 1994 when Tupac was robbed and shot multiple times in a New York recording studio. Tupac believed that members of Biggie's Bad Boy Records were involved, leading him to suspect betrayal from his former allies. This incident marks the turning point in their relationship, escalating the conflicts from simmering tensions to an all-out feud. The beef between Tupac and Biggie wasn't just confined to behind-the-scenes drama. Oh, no. It played out publicly in their music and interviews, with both artists releasing diss tracks aimed at each other. Tupac's scathing disses on tracks like Hit 'Em Up and Against All Odds accused Biggie and his associates of being responsible for his attack and labelled them as traitors. Biggie's response Biggie's response with tracks like Who Shot Ya and Long Kiss Goodnight. He ain't hiding anything of those titles, is he?
Pretty,
fueling the fire to the feud. Sadly, the Tupac and Biggie's beef didn't end with just verbal jabs. On September 7th, 1996, Tupac was fatally shot in Las Vegas. Just months later, on March the 9th, 1997, Biggie was killed in a drive-by shooting in Los Angeles. Their deaths shook the hip-hop world to the core, leaving a void that still resonates today.
Yeah. It's kind of mad because there was a thing a little while ago I listened to about how Tupac's death it was actually to do with it's largely known, like the guy who shot him, everyone knows who that guy is, and it's like there was this big mystery, but like it turns out it's not that much of a mystery. They kind of know who did what. They kind of know. I mean, they even know that what's his face, bloody Puff Daddy, P Diddy, was the guy that it was largely accepted that he was the guy that ordered the hit on Tupac. You think, bloody hell. And that was like 96. And then years later it's like, oh, he's a bad guy, is he? Oh, who knew? Like sex slaves, you say. And you're like, but yeah, he was, turns out he was always a piece of shit. Allegedly. Well, no, he is a piece of shit, but allegedly he's always been a piece of shit. That's the alleged part.
Yeah.
You know, like, whereas legally, it looks like he, all you could prove is that he's a piece of shit now. But he may have always been a piece of shit. Possibly, allegedly, maybe.
Yeah.
And could have been responsible for the death of Tupac, which is kind of insane. He might not have pulled the trigger, but he was the one that... supposedly, he offered a mill to... I'm probably fucking up your facts, aren't they? It was really fascinating me at the time.
No.
He supposedly offered this guy $1 million to shoot him. The guy shot him, and they didn't pay him. And then the guy got called in, and they, for whatever reason, they couldn't make it stick. So, but everyone sort of knows, it's like largely known. Yeah, it's like he shot him, he ordered it, and it's just known, open secret. But it's kind of one of the reasons that Biggie got fucked, because they were like, we know your buddy ordered it for you. Although I don't think necessarily it was him saying it, but who knows, it might have been. They were, but it makes you wonder, like, if after that happened, why rappers still got into disputes, because you think, dude, you know what happened, right?
Yeah.
These guys had that world with their oyster. They had everything going for them. They were in films, music, soundtrack, all this shit. God, we're sweaty. And yeah. Oh, yeah, crazy. But you think, how do you like this whole thing with, was it Drake and fucking, what's his face? You know, the recent beef they had. What is it? Drake and...
Oh, God,
I'm so out of it.
I don't know if I heard it.
Yeah, but but you think, like, that's kind of insane that they're like, why are you dissing each other? Why are you getting into this, right? Just do your shit.
You know shit's gonna happen.
Well, like, it could. And people are like...
Trust me, yeah.
But anyway, Snoop.
Dabba-dabba-dee.
I'm the motherfucking cheese on cheese. Cheese sandwich.
That's not a bad shout song, actually. Cheese sandwich.
Toasted cheese. Toasted cheese. So, Mr. Snoop. Hey, I'm going to quickly run down, just broadly, his legal issues over the years because I think it's of note and worth saying. So right, we know 1989 he graduated from school. So 1989 to 1990, felony possession of drugs. He had 3-year prison sentence. Okay, so very shortly after graduating high school, arrested for possession of cocaine, and the following 3 years was frequently in or out of prison. In 1990, he was convicted of felony possession of drugs and possessions for sale. He was found with enough of sale out, and this is back in the time when they really kicked your ass about that, right?
Yeah.
So 93, 97, kept getting caught with gun, traffic violation. He a guilty plea for gun handgun possession and drug possession. He performed 800 hours of community service and paid a $1,000 fine and served 3 years probation. That took him up to 97. So 93, 96. Now this is the big one, right? While recording Doggy Style, his debut album in August 1993, he was arrested and charged with first-degree murder in connection with the shooting of Philip Voldemariam, a member of the rival gang, who was actually killed. This is the kind of thing. It's like he was arrested for it, and then he's like, no, it's my bodyguard, McKinley Lee, aka Malik. He was the guy that actually killed him, but he'd been temporarily living in an apartment complex in the Palms neighborhood in the West Los Angeles region. I'm not getting into specifics, but he was living at the location of the shooting. Both men were charged with the murder, as Broadus was purportedly driving the vehicle, and Snoop Dogg was driving the vehicle from which the gun was fired. Johnny Cochran, because at this point he's really in with the good guys, Johnny Cochran defended them, and they were both acquitted in February 20th, 1996. So a guy was gunned down. He was driving, allegedly, and his I don't know, was it a security guard? I'll say bodyguard. His bodyguard shot him at rival gang. I mean, it was a gangland shooting, which, from all accounts, he was driving the car, but they were acquitted. And there's literally no more details on it. I'm like, what the actual fuck? I was looking at him like, what drug possessions he got up to? I'm like, no, first degree murder, rival gang. He was living right where it happened, and he was, I mean, by all accounts, driving the car, allegedly. So he was very involved. But yeah, he did some silly shit. He was very into the gangland thing was the thing. Anyway, 1998 to 2010s, moving forward, right? Broadus, again, Snoop Dogg, has been arrested and fined 3 times for misdemeanor possessions of marijuana. Obviously.
What? Does he?
He does. He imbibes. Who knew, right?
Oh, okay.
We'll get into that in a bit. But yeah, Los Angeles, Cleveland, Ohio, and Sierra Blanca, Texas, in 2010. So he keeps getting in trouble for having weed in him. People, I don't even know why they even bother checking him. They're just like, yeah. All right. So airport arrests. This is a common thing for him. Being arrested at airports with shit he shouldn't have at airports, which seems like the most easy thing to not do, but it keeps happening. So old Snooze now, and members of his entourage were arrested after being turned away from British Airways first class lounge at Heathrow Airport in London. This was 2006. So Snoop Dogg and his party were denied entry to the lounge due to some of his crew, I assume the smaller, lesser ones, were going with economy, but he took them all to the first class lounge, right?
Yeah.
Simple enough. You're not all allowed in here, only the first class fuckers are allowed in here. So you and the producer, whatever the fuck, everyone else has to go in. They were escorted outside. Should have did it, right?
Yeah.
So they got, as they were being escorted out, they start getting into a fight with the police.
Standard.
And during the fight, they vandalised a duty-free shop. It escalated so much that 7 police officers were injured during the incident. They spent the night in jail, and then they were released on bail the next day, but were unable to perform the scheduled concert at Johannesburg because obviously they'd missed the flight. Insane, right? 2006. This is the same year. This was that was April, September. He was detained at John Wayne Airport in California by airport security. But airport screeners found a collapsible police baton in his carry-on bag. I just don't know how you fucking end up with that. It's like, surely. He insisted it was a baton, was a prop for a musical sketch. He was sentenced to 3 years probation, 160 hours community service for the incident, which started in September 2007. He arrested again in October 2006, the following month, at Bob Hope Airport in Burbank, after being stopped for a traffic infraction. He was arrested for possession of a firearm and for suspicion of transporting an unspecified amount of marijuana. I'm assuming a bootful. But yeah, according to police statement, the 4th month after a taping of appearance on the Tonight Show with Jay Leno, he was arrested again for possession of marijuana, cocaine, and a firearm again. 2 members of his entourage, according to the Burbank police statement, were admitted members of the Rollin 20s Crips gang. and were arrested on unrelated charges, but all separate charges, because they're all just doing crimes all the time, apparently. April the next year, 2007, so it's a few months later. It's every month almost. He was given a 3-year suspended sentence for 5 years probation of 800 hours community service after pleading no contest to 2 felony charges of drug and gun possession again. And it was because he was convicted felon anyway. Those the way he had to do was a lot worse. Fucking, that's exhausting. He was already prohibited from hiring anyone with a criminal record or gang affiliation as a security guard, talent manager, or driver. So he got in shit for that as well. So because he only hires criminals apparently. So shit. All right, 2015. Arrested in Sweden for illegal drug possession while performing in a concert in Uppsala, Sweden. He was pulled over and detained by Swedish police for allegedly using illegal drugs, violating Swedish law enacted in 1988, which criminalised the recreational use of such substances, therefore making it even under the influence of a legal controlled substance a crime in itself without possession. So if you've got it in your system, you're a criminal. There's no, they don't. Oh, have you got any on you? No, they just take your blood sample and go, no, you've got weed in there. It's illegal. It's that simple. Sweden don't fuck about.
Nah.
During the detention, he was taken to the police station to perform a drug test and was released shortly after. He had positive traces of narcotics and he was potentially subject to a fine depending on the results of the detailed analysis. Now, they let it go because even though the results very, very, very strongly indicated drug use, they couldn't prove it by the time it went to trial. Like, he called a lawyer and he probably had someone, they slowed it down enough that it got out of his system. So he managed to get it. Anyway, so he alleged that it was racial profiling. I'm like, at this point, mate, your brand is I'm high. That's your brand. I think it's racial profiling. It might be Snoop Dogg profiling, but it's not racial profiling. Anyway, so that was all the basic crimes. Then you've got the civil crimes against him. There was a alleged assault of a fan. Basically, he was cleared of the lawsuit, but it was originally a 22 million fine because he beat up some fan or something. A fan tried to get close to him, and his security guard, at his request, beat the fuck out of them. So the guy sued him for $22 million. So it's like, yeah, I think he might have overstretched there. He lost $2 million in a bankruptcy. Sexual assault lawsuit. He was sued for sexual assault. I don't see that it went anywhere. Again, it's one of these things. There was a lot of these things when they get sorted out of court, because a lot of things you get shut down.
Yeah.
So there aren't clear records that the sexual assault cases. There's been a few of them. February 2022, and then May 2013, and there was a sexual assault apparently originally in 2005. 2 of them were thrown out. 1 of them seems to have been settled out of court. Again, none of this means he was guilty. He never got found guilty for any of these things. But I can imagine someone trying it on. Honestly, it doesn't seem insane. But I can also imagine he's got, he's high up his mind all the time anyway. All right, that's all the crimes. Banishments.
Well, okay.
Because of his criminal past, between 2016 and 2010, he was banned from the UK altogether. He was not allowed in the country. He was refused entry. Home Office decided they decided preemptively he'd be denied entry. As of March 2010, however, he was allowed back into the UK. But yeah, apparently, according to the boards, Queen Elizabeth II herself overturned the ban, saying this man has done nothing in our country, he can come. Apparently that's what happened, 2010, March. Oh, Queenie, respect. She's like, bring him.
I like me, the D-O-double-G.
D-O-double-G, bring those crunky beats. Shizzle and my nizzle. 2007-2008 he was banned from Australia because of his criminal stuff, but basically they took into account his recent charity work and any likely risk to the Australian community, and they let him back in after 2008. And 2012-2014 he was banned from Norway before in possession of 8 grams of marijuana and an undeclared 227,000 krona in cash, which is about $30,000. He didn't declare that when he came in, and he had some weed on him, so they were like, "You're banned for 2 years."
And 400 stolen IKEA pencils.
I assume so, and those blue bags that they.
Oh yeah, you didn't pay for none of those ones, and they're big.
Yeah, I mean that's from Sweden, isn't it?
Oh, again.
Norway. We're just Scandinavianophiles, aren't we?
Yeah. I'm sorry, Sweden.
Scandinists.
Yeah.
Novidians. Anyway, so yeah, that was a big old. It took a while, but yeah, I had the big old crime list, and I actually did. I skimmed over some of it. There were a bunch more gun charges. We kept getting found with a gun, and obviously there's more weed charges too. But I didn't get to all of it. But yeah, crimes.
Well done.
You've done the crimes. My throat is dry. I'm having a drink.
Ah, dear.
Oh dear, indeed, sir. All right.
Oh, my facts seem shit from now. So yeah.
Notorious.
With I said the Notorious B.I.G. featuring Tupac. So far, I've done that.
Mm-hmm.
And the various. Here's one of the various. Biggie is one of the few hip hop artists to ever record with Michael Jackson.
Really?
Yeah. Not only did he collaborate with the King of Pop once, but twice. The first came in 1995, joining MJ on the track This Time Around. 6 years later, Michael Jackson released his 10th studio album, Invincible, which featured a verse of B.I.G. So, I've not... Those names didn't ring a bell in my head, so I thought, well, I'm going to listen to them, see what it's all about.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, the songs themselves that Michael Jackson, the King of Pop, they were a bit boring. They were slow. They were just constantly. That was all on basically loop. That was like the actual words. The songs became interesting when they heard the bits of Notorious B.I.G. on there. It's like, yeah, you've actually got a bit of rap in there. You've actually mixed it up a little bit. You've made that song go from Fart Town to nice.
Yeah.
So I will say, if you want to listen to for yourself, This Time Around by Michael Jackson featuring Biggie Smalls or Notorious B.I.G. and listen to Invincible, and then where it features a verse by Notorious B.I.G. Just listen to them. You see Michael Jackson, King of Pop, mate, a bit shit. Notorious comes in, yeah, he schooled you, bruh.
Thing is, Michael Jackson was good for like the first few albums, and then it kind of just it dropped off pretty steep.
I didn't realise he released as much as he actually did, Michael Jackson, because there's lots of faff that like the rest of it on the albums. Yeah, and it's crazy. And I just when Dan put his very cold iron cup on his head, which sounds like a freaking awesome idea in this heat.
There you go, mate. A little treat for you.
I feel like the happiest capybara in the world.
Just wipe off your fucking head sweat.
Yes. But yeah, Notorious B.I.G, mate. You put Michael Jackson to shame, mate. Well done. Right. What else has he had in? Drugs, guns.
I've got a few little ones. I'm gonna combine a couple, just because I've got quite a few. I think I can afford to combine a few. Was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Once 6, I got official.
7. I've got 8 left, but I'm going to combine 2. I might combine a few.
Oh, you've got. I had like 8 in total. So.
I think I'll combine a few. Well, yeah, but some of these like a little bit. So the first few were quite big, and then I've kind of I'll combine these 2. So old Snoop. If you look over, he's not just a rapper or hip hop artist, right? He's actually mixed up the genres a fair bit. He's got quite a few influences. Obviously, he come up in the sort of in church, choir, gospel, all that sort of stuff. Although you never really hear him singing, but apparently he was quite a little singer back in the day, right? But he's primarily a rapper. He also recorded reggae and country albums.
No.
Yeah. Now, the first one I'll get into because this is a side fact, right? So in 2012, he took a trip to Jamaica. He was there for like over a month, I think.
Really?
Yeah. So. And he announced a conversion to Rastafari and a new alias, Snoop Lion. Do you remember that?
Oh, shit, years ago.
And as Snoop Lion, he released a reggae album, Reincarnated. And he did a documentary film with the same name about his Jamaican experience, about his like Rastafarian roots.
This all rings a bell from,
that came out in early 2013. His 13th studio album, Bush, was released in May 2015 and marked a return of the Snoop Dogg name. And he never mentioned it again. But I don't think Rastafari stuck. But he does like the weed, so yeah. But yeah, he's done a few different things like that. But I won't. expound on that anymore right now. Oh, I've got a few. What's going on, buddy?
That looks like it's very close to the edge.
And it's about to break.
I think your mic was gonna fall.
Close to the edge. Oh no, I dropped my mic. Alright. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to combine a few things just to get this moving along. Keep this fact interesting.
Go.
Flavours go. Go on. Diggy Smalls me. Diggy Smalls. Diggy Smalls. Diggy Smalls.
Puff Daddy.
P. Diddy.
Diddy.
Rapey Joe.
Gave the Notorious B.I.G. approximately $25,000
Dora.
as an advance for signing with Bad Boy Records. Violetta Wallace, Biggie's mum, touched on this in her book Biggie, which was published 8 years after Biggie's death. In the book, she writes, "The truth is, Christopher accepted the illusion of the friend and mentor for about $25,000. That's the amount Puff lured my son in with. It was enough money to make my son believe that Puff was really ready to do anything for him." So it's like the whole, "Oh, you're my friend, I'm going to do this for you." It's like, it's 25 grand in dollars. And they're all big friends.
You're saying dollars weirdly.
Sorry, dollars.
No, you can say. I just wonder why. Dollars.
I think it's because I've had a little bit to drink, to be honest with you.
I'll drink to that.
Dollars.
I will drink to this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, actually, no. It's the closing ceremony of the Olympics today. That's why.
Of course.
Your native French nose has it's just flared up.
My native Frenchness.
Your engorged Frenchness right now is just flopping about the place.
So flopping about the place that I can't do the high jump without smashing my knob on the bar.
Just wanging the bar.
Yeah,
It's called Jamesing the bar. That's what they call it.
That's what it actually was called.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's in the Olympics. They've done a James on the bar.
Done a James, flopped it right on the bar. James all over the place.
Yeah.
Face, neck and chest. Yeah. Shocking amount of James today. Shocking amount.
You hear the twang of the bar as it goes up, launches the French person in the air, and then the
he's Jamesed it. He's Jamesed it. Oh my lord! I've never seen such a case of Jamesing.
Oh dear.
Only can we manage to make it a compliment that basically Jamesing means cock. Such a James.
Yeah. No.
Sorry, go on. You have more facts.
That Blaney wouldn't be me. Tiny. Puff Daddy read a eulogy at Biggie's funeral. In it he said, "Biggie made me feel like I could conquer the world. Every day I wake up and pray that it's just a horrible dream. But it's not. Big's gone."
I miss you. I won't sing the song because
Because one, it's not been written yet. And
no, but Puff Daddy is no, isn't he still playing? He's still paying Sting for that, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's still paying him every day. He pays him that's like 25 grand a week or something for that song. Mate, I can't even. Shut up. He didn't ask permission. He gets so much money.
Sorry.
Old Stingford he gets so much money passively for doing nothing.
He gets all the money from Paddy. P. Diddy.
Hey Daddy, why were you doing that?
I don't know. I was thinking of P. Diddy. If he is Irish, he'll be Paddy.
Paddy.
Every step you take, go down to Jameson's. So yeah, that's my little factation. Just he offered. So it's like you look at house prices. Oh, back in the day, I spent £27,000 and I bought a house. You look at that now, so that's nothing. I could have bought
Deposit.
not even deposit. Sounds like yeah.
Yeah, we used to be what the house costs now. The deposit. It's like 30 years on. Just,
So then it's like in rap world, $25,000.
They spend that on jewellery.
Yeah.
That's
On grills.
On grills, yeah.
Yeah.
Should I get a grill?
I think you should do.
Yeah.
I think you'd do good at that. What would you get?
I don't know. Just ginger.
Oh,
Orange diamonds.
you go to the dentist. Oh, that's a bad case of gingivitis you got there.
Yeah. No, it's definitely, yeah, that's definitely not a waste of money.
No, definitely not.
So, young Snoo, right?
Still.
We think of him as a silly, stoned man, don't we, right?
Yeah.
Silly, druggy McGee. That's what you call him. You say, oh, he's a smoky man, always smoking his blunts and being high. What a silly, silly man. Not a smart man by any amount, just a silly. Turns out, IQ 147.
What?
Apparently. He's a very smart man.
Mm.
Apparently.
Mm.
Technically, that's a genius.
Mm.
Now, that is purported, and it's not like it's been verified or anything, and it's not something he's not the sort of person you'd toot your own trumpet on. So I don't know if that's true, but apparently everyone's worked with him is like, oh, he's incredibly aware, like really switched on. And given the marketing alone, you have to sort of give him some props because that was props, not crops. I don't know why I said that, but yeah, he's just seems to have his head switched on. Like he's just, considering he's blazed, like the amount he's blazed, he does a hell of a lot. And I'm gonna combine this fact just to get that in place, right? So 147 IQ. Again, producer, actor. He's directed stuff. He's starred in stuff. He produces music, produces films. He's directed films. He's starred in films. He's been in like the whole gamut. He's presented things. He's been a TV show. He's been a host on shows. He's done all these different things. He's written stuff. He's one of the guys. He's on more albums than any other person because he features in everyone. He just features in. So he's everywhere all the time, and he has done forever. And that's while, and this is it. He's got a personal roller. He follows him around, right? His name is Renegade Piranha.
Sweet name.
The rapper's personal roller. He reveals that cannabis enthusiast rapper Snoop Dogg smokes between 75 and 150 joints a day. That's why he needs a professional roller. His hands would be arthritic and fucked if he didn't. So he does that, and he's actually a big sportsman. He's running all the time. He does all kinds of different sports. He's at various games. He does opening ceremonies. He's ushered a bunch of younger people into, like, got them in the studio for the first time and all that.
I know
loads of charity work.
He's been quite a big out fucking words.
Olympics.
Yeah, he's quite a big advocate of the Olympics this year.
He's been Olympics, and he was in Tokyo as well. He was doing loads there. He was one of the presenters for the US. Just like he would present it and just announce all the stuff. And he's huge to the Olympics. And he's actually a really good runner, like really fast, like long distance. I think he's.
Because he's used to running from the popo.
Oh no, you didn't. Wait a minute, I got four more. Come on.
You got four more.
I got four more.
Oh snap! One of Big's first song, the meaning behind the juicy lyrics. Yeah, I mentioned that one earlier.
You did.
So, quote: "To all the teachers that told me I'd never amount to nothing, Biggie's teacher told him that he would likely be a garbage collector when he was older." His mum recalls Biggie telling him the story of how he did some research, and got back to his teachers the next day saying, "A teacher makes a salary of $22,500. The garbage collectors starts at $29,000. You said the same. You said some of us inside are going to be garbage collectors, but you're going to be making more money than you. So that's cool." So the teachers say, "Oh, you're going to be garbage collectors. Oh, what are you going to do?" And he does his research and goes, "Actually, I'll be earning more money than you then. So thank you." I think that's just a pretty cool step back.
Yeah. Sassy bitch. Just like, I mean, that's more about how the education system is fucked in America than the actual.
Yeah.
It's like the takeaway is not that. Yeah, he sure showed him. He's like, I think he was trying to scare you into trying harder at school, mate. Yeah. You're like, I told him he don't earn enough. Yeah, okay. I mean, that's probably a systemic problem. I don't know necessarily that's the takeaway here, but yeah, well, yeah, I'm not sure. I think that was cool. Yeah, Snoopy. So, Snoo, in 2018, he announced he was a born-again Christian and chose to change genres again. So he released his first gospel album, Bible of Love. He went hard into Christianity.
Mm.
and like many other things there, has drifted away ever since. So he's been. I mean, I assume because he was raised in the church, so I assume he was a Christian dude. But he became a born again Christian, so I presume he was fucking around. But he was Rastafarian. That was 2012, 2013. And in 2015, that has sort of gone away because he was sort of announced, I'm Snoop Lion because I'm a Rastafari now. Not anymore. 3 years later, I'm a born again Christian. Released a gospel album. Then a couple of years later, I'm rap again now. It's just like it just seems to like latch onto these sort of religious sojourns and just like I'm going to go over here, I'm going to do this, and I'm back to just baseline Snoop. But then he seemed like his character, like the way he presents himself, does seem to be like almost like a cartoon character. Although I did a bit of research and I listened to this interview with Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen was, I think it was during that what's it, End of the World? Was it called End of the World? They did a film together where they were just like basically the world ends and they're stuck. Yeah, do you remember?
That's ringing a bell. Yeah.
So anyway, they had him come in and do some recording, and then he said, "Do you mind, since you're here, can you do some recording for the album?" And he's there, and he's like, "Well, you didn't tell me about this. I'm not ready for this. I'm not prepared." He's like, "I know, man. I just feel you're here, and you're such a fucking icon. It would do us a treat. Obviously, we'll pay you for it. We'll get, we'll square you up, but just." So he's like, hang on a sec. So he talks to his security guy. He goes, okay. He goes outside, comes back in because he's there with the limo, right? And these 2 girls come in and start dancing, and it turns out, and then his weed roller comes in and starts rolling some, right? So Seth Rogen's talking about this. He's sort of saying like he's there. He's got these 2 girls like are just doing like slut drops and dancing around, and he's just sitting there with a notepad, just scribbling out some lyrics, trying to work out. And his roller is just rolling up like blunt after blunt after blunt, filling up a little case, and he sparks one up to it, passes it over. So as he's writing, he just like takes a few tokes. The guy takes it back and he just holds on to it. He's passing it to him. And he's like, and he's going. He's not even really acknowledging them, and he's just and he calls them by name. He says, whatever the name, Tisha, Louise. Yeah, all right, it's fine. You can go back to the car now. Okay, I'm ready. So it turns out he drives around. He always has his hose in the car because he finds that writing is like just everything he does is just. If I have some girls dancing around, that just gets the juices flowing, and he can rock better. He just can do. So I'm like, the life that guy lives, right? So he's just there. He's like, he's on, again, not planned. He didn't know he was recording it. And then he went on and just recorded a load of guest vocals on the album. And I just thought that's kind of amazing. This guy lives. He's like almost like a cartoon life. But then you realise in that scenario, that wasn't planned. He wasn't putting on a persona. He wasn't mussing his hair up like bloody
Boris Johnson.
Yeah, Boris Johnson. He's just being himself. He's like, I need my hose, I need my blunts. Let's get on with this. Okay, we're ready to go. Okay, hose can go. I'm gonna go in the booth now. Went in the booth, started spitting out bars, and then it was like, we all cool? All right, have a good day. I'll see you later, guys. Bye. And went, and that was his day. I'm like, God, the life that guy lives. But yeah.
So could I have done better at school if I had hose and blunts been? So if I was like sitting down in the exam hall, go, oh, before I take this paper, let me just go to my limo, get out a couple of I would say bitches, but I don't think I've actually qualified to get that status yet.
I don't think you're there yet.
Some females,
lady friends,
lady friends, and Dave to roll me.
Mm. And that's it. I mean, like he's not like I suppose a naughty boy broadly. He's been married since 1997, since very early days. He's got like 4 kids with him, with his wife, and I mean, I'm assuming, his lifestyle he has. There must have been temptations. Maybe he has been a naughty boy, but not in these. His wife stayed like with him. He seems to. He seems to have his shit together to that extent at least, right? He's handling, his missus is staying with him, so I think he's doing alright, and he's got he seems to be quite the family man. It's a weird one because it seems that considering his early day and his lifestyle and all the drugs and the guns and the gang shit, but yeah. Anyway, crazy days. I've got 3 decent ones left. Go.
Cool. Notorious attended the George Westinghouse Career and Technical Educational High School in downtown Brooklyn, which featured rappers Jay-Z and Busta Rhymes. They were also attending. Yay. They're my featured names. According to his mother, Biggie was still a good student but developed a smart-ass attitude at the new school. At age 17 in 1989, he dropped out of high school and became more involved in crime. That same year, in 1989, he was arrested on weapons charges in Brooklyn and sentenced to 5 years probation in 1990. 5 years probation. In 1990, he was arrested on a violation of probation. A year later, he was arrested in North Carolina dealing crack cocaine. He spent 9 months in jail before making bail. After release from jail, he made a demo tape, Microphone Murder, while calling himself Biggie Smalls. So that's some of his sort of crime background and bits. Yeah, he's a cocky little shit at school. Knew Jay-Z and Busta Rhymes, because if you want to see, they're going to give me some more.
Yeah.
Cocky little shit.
I love Busta Rhymes. I've listened to Busta Rhymes. I'm familiar. Take your fucking neck. I know all that shit. But it's not all, doesn't always click, but it's, there's some good shit. There's definitely some good shit there. But yeah, they're similar starts in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I think lots of these rappers, especially because it's all around the same sort of times in the years, like the 93s and 92s, and again, look at Snoop Dogg, his sort of date of birth and thing like that, and when he was
they always seem to get like a helping hand from someone else. Like, there's always like, like the producer or another fellow rapper that kind of helps them up. There's a lot of that.
Yeah. Which
is kind of cool. There's this community where it's not like some label or studio. It's this guy, Dr. Dre, and Dr. Dre helps a lot of people. That, to be fair, but
that's because he's a doctor.
He's a doctor. He has the skills. But yeah, lovely day. All right, scooch on. A little look. Snoopy, Snoo tried to stop smoking the ganj.
No, he didn't. He lied.
This was 2002.
Yeah.
So yeah, it didn't stick. Now he admits to smoking up to 80 blunts a day, which obviously his roller has said is low. His method of microwaving his blunts briefly before smoking them. Yeah, right. So this is the thing. He microwaves his blunts before smoking them, but now it's a clever twist on the traditional decarboxylation. That's when you.
Oh yeah.
No, but when you before you cook anything with like weed, you can't just cook weed. You have to decarboxylize it, which is when you heat it up and it releases there's a chemical reaction that happens as it's being cooked, and this technique ensures that more THCA is converted into THC, which makes it work better. So you get more THC out of it, and you get more blazed. So he nukes his blunts in the microwave before he smokes them, as a general rule. He's got a whole methodology about it. He has the whole system down, and he lives high. It's kind of crazy how much.
So would he have a microwave in his limo? Because if he's got all that sort of stuff.
he does. Like you, I'm
yeah,
certain.
I'm sorry. Why I have to ask that. I'm sorry. I should not have done.
Okay, 2 to go. Come on. Bring them.
With so, Mr. Biggie Smalls, Notorious befriended basketball player Shaquille O'Neal. Neal said they were introduced during a listening session on "Gimme the Loot." Notorious mentioned him in the lyrics, and they were attracted to his music. So, they mentioned him in the lyrics, and therefore attracted O'Neal to his music. O'Neal requested collaborating with Wallace, which resulted in the song "You Can't Stop the Rain." Notorious would then collaborate with anyone. He would not collaborate with anyone he didn't really respect, and that he paid O'Neal his respect by shouting him out. So he doesn't just rap and do collaborations with anyone. No one at all. And he got a respect from Shaquille O'Neal because of their little meeting. It's lovely.
It's nice.
So basketball, shout out, me. One more fact from me.
Okay, I got So his name's Wallace, is it?
Honestly, I keep forgetting. I thought it was like Christopher at one point, and it's Wallace. I keep mentioning Wallace. I'm looking everything up.
I keep one of my surname Broadus, but I just also keep that snooze name because but his name is real name's Calvin. That's weird to me.
Yeah,
it's fucking weird. I've got a couple. He's no stranger to feuds. He's been the whole thing with the feud thing. Obviously, we know he's West Coast, isn't he?
I think so, but I can't.
Is B.I.G. East Coast, right?
I've deleted it now.
Yeah, I just want to get this down because I don't want to get in the clip somewhere else.
I thought Biggie was West, Tupac was East. Because West being New York, and then East being LA.
Yeah, of course, he's
But again, I'll mention this for my forte.
Snoop Dogg's smooth flowing, charismatic personality became synonymous with West Coast rap. So, the West Side rappers. I want to know. I want to know.
West Side.
Snoop Dogg, Tupac, Ice Cube, Kendrick Lamar.
Oh yeah, standard. Kendrick.
Dr. Dre, E40, Eazy-E, NWA, Coolio, Warren G. Oh mate, they won. They just won.
Biggie must have been East then.
Cypress Hill, yeah. Nate Dogg. Oh yeah, because his Brett Family's there. Nate Dogg, The Game. Mate, they're the best rappers. Fucking hell. You shut up. So yeah, so he's West Coast rapper, right? But yeah, no stranger to all these feuds. There's fucking feuds. But his are more obviously early doors. He was West Coast. There was a lot of West Coast, East Coast shit going on at the time, and he took sides. You know, that whole song California. He's on that with Tupac and Dre and everyone else. Who else is there? California, no doubt about it.
I actually thought that Snoop Dogg was in the room then when I heard that.
Sorry, I didn't mean to excite you.
Sorry.
But after Dr. Dre started working with Eminem, Snoop Dogg used his 2-minute warning song to diss this newcomer, this new white boy. I think since then they've worked together somewhat, so he's friendly. During a recent feud with Iggy Azalea, Snoop took to Instagram to toss insults her way, and then he later apologised to her after rapper T.I. told him to chill the fuck out. But yeah, he seems like a sassy bitch in some respects, but for the most part, it's just, I think there's a certain amount of friendly banter in it, but it can get taken too far. So he's not seems to taken it too far, but he does have mouth on him. Does talk some shit.
He's got the sass, but he's also got manners. He can fix a relationship with a bag of spanners because he wants to go and say, "Hi, I'm Snoop Dogg. Oh yeah, I'm not bad. I'm not that dog. Oh no." Yeah, thank you.
Very good. Very good. Very good.
Yeah, apart
He
from...
did a rap. I'll put that in the top, featuring a rap.
Nah.
No, I'll put it in there.
No.
Hold on. Listen for a new original James rap.
Right, last fact. Notorious B.I.G. Chris MCCT or Wallace was booked to perform in Sacramento. When his group arrived at the venue, there weren't many people there, and when they started performing, they were getting coins chucked to them. When they left, they were held at gunpoint at the venue's parking lot, allegedly set up by E40's goons. So E40 being another rapper type person. Again, E40, that was, his name was taken from the area where he lived. I think that's what you sort of touched on with it.
Yeah.
Before, yeah. E40's goons, who were angry about the interview he did with the Canadian magazine, but Maple Celebrity, when asked to rank a handful of artists on a scale of 1 to 10, Wallace gave E40 a 0. Ooh. One of Notorious's entourage said to get E40 on the phone. Wallace explained how they got him drunk and had got him to say anything. E40 told his men, stand down, and safely escort them to the airport. Yeah. So he slated E40, and because he was drunk, and he was told just to say anything, and then he explained the situation in a calm, fashionable manner. And E40 was like, "Okay, lads, let him go through, and give me an escort to the airport." It's kind. So there's no ambiguity. I don't know if that word fits in there, but I like the word ambiguity.
It's a good word, yeah.
You're welcome. And that's my facts done. I've effectuated.
I've got one little slippy little. She's a little one anyway. So it was just he's got these alter egos, old Snoop Dogg, because they all do. I think it's part of the sort of pageantry of the genre. A lot of it's brand based, and I think he just built this brand up, but you can never go off a different name. So obviously we know about Snoop Lion, Snoop Dogg, Snoopzilla, and there's a few others, right? But the one that really tickled me was Snoop Todd.
Sorry?
Snoop Todd. Do you want to see Snoop Todd?
Yeah.
Here it is.
This makes me look like he's...
So in Snoop Todd, he's a white guy who fancies himself as a ladies' man, and he basically he did a lot of songs as Snoop Todd in this persona, and then he'd appear as this guy. He'd wear a blonde wig and white himself up, and he went to award shows with Snoop Todd. Yeah, there he is.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Snoop Todd. I just think it's really funny. There he is.
I just want to recommend...
That's AI, but yeah, it just...
Anyone who's got the internet right now, look up Snoop Todd.
Snoop Todd.
I did not know this was a thing.
I've got to listen to like songs that Snoop Todd has done because that's just really fun.
Wow. I can imagine that's singing about, rapping about washing
and I think I was going to say, if you haven't seen him, there's a film called, is it Daywatch or, I've got to remember it. It was...
Daywatch, isn't that the vampire one?
Yeah, there was... Is it Daywatch? I'm going to find out now, hang on a sec. But, because it has Scott Adkins in it, that's why I watched it. I was like, oh, that'd be like a... Snoop Dogg. Because he's in loads of films, actually. He's been in the actions... I think Training Day was one of his first ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a small part in it, but he was just a druggy fucker in that one, but...
Snoop Todd.
Snoop Todd. But yeah, he shows. I mean, like he seems to be pretty charming. We listen. Actually, he's in the Garfield movie. I watched like the kids today. He's in that. He does the voice and that. He does loads of voice work. But yeah, he's in loads of shit. But he's in did a bunch of horror movies. I remember that. He's been in Call of Duty. He's been in every music video ever. Day Shift, that's it. Day Shift, that's the vampire one. And he's Big John Elliott, and he's this big bastard vampire killer, vampire hunter. And I was like, and he was really good in it. It was really, because he's not like he's a streak of piss, but he's plays this big, bombastic hard ass. And he was in F for Family, which is Bill Burr's a cartoon. And he's Reverend Sugar Squires in that. And it's really good. It's really good. He was cousin It in Adam's Family, the new ones. He's just been in he's done tons of shit, right? He's just cool. He's cool.
Red light, green light.
Red light, yeah. Yeah, and of course he's been on Limp Bizkit, so you know.
Yeah.
Baby, are you ready to go? Baby, are you ready to go? Okay, we done did it. We got into Rap Town.
We done diddy it.
We did it. We did it. Now we're going to record a couple of ads to intersperse in that you've heard already at this point. We haven't even done yet, so fucking well done. And then next week we'll be coming back with
more subjects.
More subjects. You're not going to commit to it right now.
No, I have to think because don't know.
Okay, I'm going to.
Because now we got to go. I think I've got to leave you for next week's episode. I bet you will be eager because we're going to have a drink of whiskey, wine, and wisdom. Oh no, you better come back. Get a wisdom.
A wisdom.
Yeah, that's it. You can keep that word. Susie Dent, put it in the dictionary. Count down, here it comes.
Susie Dent. Susie Dent?
Yeah.
Yeah, alright, fair enough.
Yeah.
Wisdom. Fucking wisdom. On that bombshell. I'm gonna call it.
Yeah.
No, y'all.
No, goodbye.
Wisdom.
Wisdom for shizzle.
For shizzle, my nizzles. Hey, buddy. Do you want to head over to Big Meaty Steakhouse Factory for dinner?
I can't do. Remember, I'm a vegan.
Oh, yeah. But isn't that inconvenient, though?
I suppose it is. Actually, fuck! I want to eat a baby deer. Hooves and all.
Sweet, let's go.
Yeah.
Wait right there. If you've made the questionable decision to eschew all meat, dairy and animal adjacent things, and the struggle is getting just too much, you don't need to cave.
What?
You can retain your full vegan powers.
How?
Just call 0800 111 5437 888 888 Z. We play a randomized selection of screaming animals in genuine distress. This horrific jolt in the feelings will stop you even considering dropping the ball and eating sufficient protein for once. You can maintain your self-esteem. You're better than you, mystique, and most important of all, you can keep telling everyone how vegan you are.
Yeah.
Regain your veganism. The only animals you'll make suffer are your friends and family. Vegan! Remember, 0800 111 5437 888 888 Z.
Dead.
Masturbation. It's not a dirty word. Masturbation in all its forms. Couldn't be better. Come on down to Percy's Pump Palace. Get all the masturbatory aids you need. Juices, fluids, fuck toys, clean up wipes. It's disgusting really, but come on down. Fuck, this is nasty. Oh god, maybe don't come down. Chatham High Street. I mean, come down if you want. So much lube. Fuck. Percy's Pump Palace. Juices.